Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. You know, there's some signs that will let you know when your debt is getting out of hand. Jay Seaton is Vice President of National Affairs with the Prison, and he's here to tell us what some of those signs are. Later on, we will hear from Natalie Rudd, a wellness nurse case manager at Cleveland Clinic. She'll talk about the Fresh Study Program. And later on the broadcast after that, Peggy Zone Fisher and Jessica Dagler of the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio will explain how to participate in the next Lead Diversity Program. Good morning, everyone. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with a good friend, Jay Seaton, Vice President, National Affairs for Verizon. Good to see you, Jay.
Thanks for having me.
Jay is involved with consumer credit counseling, that kind of thing. Been doing it for years. And here we are in 2012, and we're still talking about some things where people get in debt.
One of the things I do want to mention, even before we talk about the debt danger signals, are how many people approach me and how many lives we've touched as a result of this program. We're kind of trying to do it quarterly. And since the last program, I probably had 20 people say, I saw that, and they quote some of the things we talked about. So I know people are paying attention, so thank you.
They know that there are lots of people out there who are in trouble with debt.
And sometimes it's them. It's touching them.
What do you do? What are the danger signals if somebody says, am I in trouble or am I not in trouble?
Well, there are 3 or 4 of them to really think about. And again, I'll go slowly so people can kind of say, does this fit my family or me or somebody I know? One is if you're skipping payments. Say you have 4 or 5 payments due on your cards. You can only this month pay 2, and next month I'll catch up. That's one. Using the cards for necessities, not just for the rewards part of it, but simply because you don't have the cash. Those are 2 big ones. And then struggling to pay the minimum payment. If that's all you can really do and you're struggling to do that, you're not really getting ahead.
So how do you get people out of problems with that? They can contact your office and you give free credit counseling, right?
As a nonprofit, that's what we do. Consumer Credit Counseling, Verizon, that's our national name. Many people know us locally here as Credit Counseling, as you noticed. That's what we do, and it's a free session in person, 5 offices in Greater Cleveland, or people can do it internet or over the phone.
Now, do you work with the people they owe you, or work with the creditor and the person who's in debt?
Yes.
And you work out a deal where they can pay a little bit to pay off this debt?
The key, it all starts with a budgeting session, which is about 90 minutes. It's free, and it's with a credit counselor who's certified, who knows what he or she is doing, and works out that budget, and then we work from there for reduced payments.
I always bring out the credit card. Everybody knows when I'm with Jay Seaton, I'm going to bring out the credit card, and I'm going to be careful how I show this because that's my personal one with my numbers on it, so I'm going to keep it moving. You can't write those numbers down. These things get people in trouble, don't they?
Well, what's interesting is they're pieces of plastic, as you're pointing out, and you have to do something. You need to understand what they are. They can be great, they can be convenient, they can be helpful, they can come up with rewards and all the rest, but they also can be dangerous if you don't understand how they work.
You got to understand that every month you are actually borrowing money from somebody's paying your debt.
It's like a loan on a plastic card. That's exactly right. And the more you can pay on that loan every month, the better off you are.
At the month, I pay off the whole thing. Otherwise, if I can't afford it, I don't buy it in the first place.
You're 60% plus, but that still means they're 35, 40% or in that range who don't, which means they pay interest, and that can mount if you run into a problem at home.
What should people do? Say somebody out there right now is in trouble right now, and they're taking notes right now on what should the first thing they should do, Jay?
I think one of the first things, it's easiest, maybe in this day of electronic, maybe the phone is getting to be passé, but I think many people in this area in particular like to talk to a person. It's 1-800-355-2227. That begins the process toward the free counseling.
And this is free all the way?
Yes.
You see people get in trouble, certainly around the holidays. I mean, they buy a lot for the holidays, the Christmas presents and all of that, but they haven't paid off last Christmas's debt yet, and now it's just one problem on top of another.
I was going to add that as my 4th or 5th debt danger signal, but you'd be surprised how many times when we do this segment in this program after the holidays, that's what people say to me. I haven't paid off the last holiday yet.
My mother and father, God bless their souls, but when I was a kid, if they wanted to buy a new chair for the living room, they would start putting a $10 bill in an envelope, and when they got the amount of money that the chair was, then they'd go pay cash for the whole chair. But they didn't buy it till they had the money.
Leanne, I do a workshop called Getting and Staying on Track with Money, and that is you can dress it up with the new modern kind of gizmos, but that is actually one of the suggestions that I make for people. The envelope approach, the old-fashioned envelope approach was so popular, and if you want to go ahead and customize it for yourself, it still works.
Yeah. I see people sometimes go in the fast food place and they'll buy a 79-cent whatever, and they'll use a credit card right there. Swipe it on that 79 cents.
And generally, I don't do it. So I'm very conservative from doing this for 30+ years. But if it's part of a rewards program that you're going to be able to get a free flight or whatever else, cash, whatever, then fine. If you understand, if you're going to pay that off at the end of the month. But if it's just part of, I don't have the money, I'm just going to wait till later, that's not so good.
Just make sure that you pay off your debt as quickly as you can.
Be smart.
Is there a philosophical thought you can leave us with in our final 1 minute here, Jay?
It's not the credit or the credit cards that really is the problem. It's our understanding and our willingness to go ahead and use them in the smartest, most rational way.
I was looking at new cars the other day. I took my car in to have it serviced, and the guy was trying to sell me a new car in the showroom while mine was having its oil change. I sat in the new car, brand new, and I says, this looks just like my car, the one that's getting serviced. And I just says, no, I'll just take the oil change and leave.
It probably smelled a little bit different, but so what? There's air freshener for $2.
You got that right. I love that. That's what I love. Jay Seaton. Jay Seaton is Vice President of National Affairs for Uprising, and you can call Uprising. It is a free consumer credit counseling service. If you're in trouble, they will get you out of trouble because they will work with your creditor. And the most important thing is don't ignore those credit letters when they come in, right?
Well, and one final thing I'll say, if you're more electronically focused, it's www.uprising.com, so you can work the website too.
We've got that on the screen right there, uprising.com. You see it at the bottom of the screen, or 800-355-2227. Jay Seaton keeps money in our pockets.
Thank you.
Where it belongs. We're going to take a break right now. I appreciate you being with me, Jay. We're going to talk about a wellness research study after this. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with me today. Natalie Rudd is a wellness nurse case manager at the Cleveland Clinic, and she's here to share information with us about the Cleveland Clinic's Wellness Research Fresh Study Program. Good to have you with us, Natalie Rudd.
Thank you.
What is the Wellness Research Fresh Study Program?
The Fresh Study is a lifestyle modification program that is designed specifically for African American women who are overweight and who have prediabetes. Fresh stands for fitness, relaxation, eating to stay healthy. So the objective of this study is to teach these women how to decrease their risk of developing full-blown diabetes by adopting a healthier lifestyle. It is an exciting collaborative effort between the Cleveland Clinic Wellness Institute in Lyndhurst and our Stephanie Tubbs Jones Family Health Center in East Cleveland, where the program will be offered this coming August.
You mentioned pre-diabetes. I know we've got a diabetes epidemic in this country. We'll get into that in just a little bit, perhaps. What is pre-diabetes?
Pre-diabetes is a serious medical condition that is the step before developing full-blown diabetes. And most individuals who have pre-diabetes don't even realize they have it because there aren't any warning signs and symptoms until they're full-blown diabetic. And what we know about pre-diabetes is that it can be reversed and decrease the risk of developing diabetes if people change their lifestyle, meaning they change the way they eat, the way they move, and how they think or deal with their stress. Now, once they develop diabetes, which can be within several months or even up to several years, it's a chronic condition that then affects every organ in the body and increases their risk of developing stroke and heart disease.
Let's talk a little bit about the Wellness Research Fresh Study Program. Specifically, what happens in this program?
Okay, so FRESH stands for Fitness, Relaxation, Eating to Stay Healthy. So the components of the study include fitness, teaching people how to exercise and changing their mindset about exercising. We know that exercise decreases your blood sugar levels, decreases your stress, so it's definitely one component to decreasing your risk of developing diabetes. And we want people to start thinking about exercise not about going to the gym or having the equipment at home, but being able to exercise with their own body weight, increase increasing their number of steps, so the individuals will receive a pedometer so that they can monitor the number of steps that they get a day, which is about 10,000 steps, which is the goal. And then the relaxation piece of it. Everybody has stress. It's a normal part of life, but how we manage it is the question. And chronic long-term stress decreases our immune system, increases our risk for developing disease. So we're going to work with a behavioral health specialist to teach people simple techniques about how to control their stress. And then a large component of the study is the nutrition, eating to stay healthy. We want to teach people that broaden their perspective on eating healthy and the healthy foods that they can have. Everybody thinks, oh, when I'm eating healthy, I can just have salad without salad dressing. Well, that's not true. There's a world of can-haves, and they'll learn that with our chef and with our registered dietitian to teach them about the foods that decrease their risk of developing diabetes.
You're taking people into this study now.
Yes.
How do people get into the study? And who are you looking for in this study?
We are looking for committed African-American women who have prediabetes, and they may not, again, they may not know that they have diabetes, but we are screening them, doing a simple blood test to identify their blood sugar level to see if they have diabetes. And so they need to be overweight, have a family history of diabetes. Maybe there's a blood relative who has full-blown diabetes, because we know that it runs in families as well. And we're looking for committed women, women who are ready to make that change that we are trying to teach them in incorporating this healthy lifestyle.
And you can save their lives, but if they can save their lives if they do some things. I'm holding up a little brochure about this. Now how long is this study going to be going on at the Cleveland Clinic?
So the study will be held at the Stephanie Tubbs Jones Family Health Center in East Cleveland. It is a 6-week commitment. They will meet once a week for 1.5 hours, and they'll learn those components of fitness, exercise, relaxation, and nutrition during that 1.5-hour time commitment. And then, of course, once they're done with the class, we're asking them to go home and start incorporating these healthy lifestyle changes that we're teaching them.
Do you compensate them for your time?
Thank you for asking.
Oh.
Yes, we're compensating them depending on which group they're assigned to in the research study. It ranges between $100 and $110 that will be dispersed throughout the 6 weeks that they're in the program.
So you give them some money, and they get some things that they can live on, and you give them a couple of bucks to live on as well.
Right.
Let me put a phone number on the screen. People can get more information, and they can sign up for this study by making a phone call at least.
Right. They can call the number. We have our interns who are ready to answer their question. There are inclusion-exclusion criteria for this study. Basically, you have to be African American. You have to, African American women over the age of 18, have to be overweight and have prediabetes or a family history of diabetes.
And you can help them get back on track.
Absolutely.
Which is the goal. There is Natalie Rudd is a registered nurse and wellness nurse case manager at the Cleveland Clinic. We'll put a phone number on the screen. Ask and it shall be given. You see the number there, 216-448-8300. That's 216-448-8300. We can turn the corner on this in this country, this diabetes epidemic we are facing with Michelle Obama, the president's wife, has talked about this. We can turn the corner on this if we do the right thing, can't we? And
that's the take-home message, that prediabetes can be prevented. You do not have to develop diabetes. If you change your lifestyle, if you change the way that you eat, start being mindful of the food that you're putting in your body and exercising, getting those 10,000 steps and having that open mind that I can exercise, I can live healthy. And the key is controlling our stress. All of us have stress, but how do we relate to it and how do we deal with it? So that is the take-home message, that it can be reversed.
Many thanks. Natalie Rudd with Cleveland Clinic. Good to have you on the broadcast. The number you see on the screen, give it a call, 448-8300. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back. This is Kaleidoscope. We're here for you. Back shortly. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. The Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio is accepting applications for its LEAD Diversity Program, which begins in September. President and CEO Peggy Zone Fisher is here, and the director of the LEAD Diversity Program, Jessica Dagler, is here as well to talk more about the program, which helped raise the awareness of diversity issues and build leadership skills. Good to have you with us. Jessica Dagler sitting next to me, and Peggy Zone Fisher, the president of the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio.
Good to see you, Leon.
Good to see you too. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Let's begin with you, Peggy. What is the mission of the Diversity Center of Northeast Ohio?
Well, the mission is to eliminate bias, bigotry, and racism. And the Diversity Center's, it's a big mission, I know. We have a lot of work to do, but it is incredible work. The Diversity Center has been around since 1927. It began as the National Conference of Christians and Jews, and over the years the name changed to better really reflect the work that we do in the community. We do work in 9 counties in Northeast Ohio. We do a lot of work with students, young people, in middle schools, high schools, elementary schools, but we also do a lot of, we do cultural competency training for healthcare professionals. We work with educators and train them, but we do a lot of work with professionals also. And I know today we want to talk about our premier program, the Lead Diversity program. And Jessica Dagler is the director of Lead Diversity, and this program has been around, this is our 11th year. And if you kind of think of the format of a Leadership Cleveland, it's an application process, and you start in September and you spend a day a month with us, graduate in June. It's a phenomenal, life-changing experience. I
am a graduate of Leadership Cleveland, the class of 1986. So
I'm 81.
So here we it's old home week.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about the Lead Diversity program, Jessica Dagler.
I'd be happy to. Lead Diversity, it's a year-long program for professionals where they examine the concepts of diversity and inclusion and think about the personal, workplace, and community impact of those. So while we're doing that, people are building their leadership skills, they're increasing their awareness of those issues, and they're also enhancing their networks through the other people in the class and the speakers and the sites that we go to.
What kinds of things do you talk about in this program?
Sure, we cover a really wide range of topics. We talk about identity. We like to start with ourselves. It's hard to, make change if we don't even know who we are or what we're doing. So we talk about identity, we talk about privilege and power dynamics in our country. We also talk about hate and discrimination and prejudice, about inequality. But we don't want to focus on all the sad things, right? All the downers. What we really want to do is give people skills so that they can go back to their communities and their families and their workplaces and be positive agents of change.
Some things we have to put on the table, and we have to talk about some things.
Got to have honest conversation if you want to be able to talk about
I love that.
real
the honest conversation. I love the phrase about that. What's it cost to be involved with
It's a very minimal. It's $1,500 for the entire year. That includes all of everything, the tools, your books, food, any transportation, within the program. And it's the reason why the cost is so low. And if you're a graduate of some another leadership programs, we receive grants to help underwrite. So there are some scholarships available, and we're doing something new this year. We have a grant that is really exciting, and we're going to be doing a big part of this program for nonprofits. And this is because many smaller nonprofits can't even afford the $1,500 tuition.
When does the program begin now? When's your next cycle begin?
Well, it begins in September, and applications are coming out, and the application deadline is...
It's going to be Friday, August 17th. You'll be able to get the applications both electronically, or if people would prefer in the mail, we can do that. And then they'll be notified by the beginning of September, and our first session is at the end of September.
Let's put a number on the screen and a website on the screen as well. 216-752-3000, or go to Diversity Center, NEO, Northeast Ohio, diversitycenterneo.org, and you can get more information on everything we're talking about.
Absolutely.
What's the bottom line? What do you want people, when they finish this program, and their companies can pay for this, or however, what do you want them to walk away with?
We really want people to feel empowered, to feel like they have the knowledge, they have the skills, they have the resources to go back and make change. We know there's all of these issues going on in our communities and our workplaces. We want to be more inclusive. Diversity is a fact. So how do we make it work for people? And so we want people to feel empowered to go back and make positive change so there's inclusion for everyone.
I've got 30 seconds remaining. Diversity is part of the American makeup. It has been here since, I guess, many centuries, a couple of centuries at least. It is going to get more diverse, right, Peggy?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our world is changing at lightning speed, and the demographics are changing, our communities are changing, and we are really trying to create and help create a community and a culture where people are respected and valued and feel that they want to stay, and they want to stay here in Cleveland because they know there's opportunity.
In 10 seconds, do people need any special skills to participate in this program?
A willingness to participate.
And it's open to?
It's open to all professionals.
Whatever.
And the class is very diverse, too. We make a point of making sure the class is diverse within itself. So last year's class, the age went from 26 to 73, all different walks of life, all coming from corporations, nonprofits, education, diversity in ethnicity. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
752-3000 is the phone number. DiversityCenterNEO.org is the website.
Yeah.
You want to sign up for this one. Thank you, ladies, for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
I'm taking a break. Back in a moment. Dolores Presley is a speaker, author, and coach with Dolores Presley Worldwide. She'll be joining us on this segment of the program from time to time. So we welcome Dolores here. Good to have you with us, Dolores.
Thank you, Leon. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, what's on your mind today?
I just want to talk about, I'm just going to do a little bit of Power Up with Presley, how people can overcome their fears. So many people are not as successful as they could be because they're afraid. So I just want to give them a couple tips on how to overcome those fears. I want you to move past those fears into your destiny. First of all, just be honest about the fear. It's okay. We all have fears. That's okay. Then own the fear. Don't start saying, well, you know, it's Leon's fault. You know, I just can't help it. It's my spouse's fault. No, it's your fear. Just own it. And then I want you to visualize the fear. Actually, if you're afraid of heights, I want you to visualize yourself on the top of the Empire State Building. Really visualizing that. And then I want you to let out the fears. If you need to scream, if you need to yell, if you need to journal, journaling is a wonderful way to help you through any kind of fears.
Writing it down.
Writing it down, yes. And I also want you to take action, make some changes. That's what so many people have a hard time doing. As I speak all over this world and country and everywhere, it's the change. If I had a magic wand, I would just wave it. First of all, I'd say no more diseases. And second, shift your mindset, change your mindset. So if you just take these little bit of actions that I've given you today, you can overcome some fears.
I've got 20 seconds remaining. Change your mind, change your life is how I like to think of it like that.
I would say, forget those fears, push past those fears into your destiny.
Do you go into the fear and you'll find your blessing inside? If you go, but you got to deal with it.
You've got to do it. Make it happen. That's what we're all about at Dolores Presley Worldwide. Making it happen.
Dolores is going to be with us from time to time. Thank you, Dolores. That's going to do it. So long.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.